and welcome back to my channel. I've been thinking about. So in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about different things I experienced whilst travelling. Now I like to travel, I like to go places. I've literally got like in the next month 2 separate trips planned. So yeah, I thought it'd be quite interesting for me to explain to you guys not only like how it happens, but the things that I like encounter or are done differently in order for me to get to A to B. First thing that can be a bit tricky when travelling as an amputee is if I want to take more than one pair of prosthetic legs. Now I'm quite lucky in the fact that I only wear blades majority of the time. However, if I'm going to like, I don't know, Spain and I'm going to be in a pool, then I'm going to want my waterproof legs, which means I have to take them with me, and a full-size pair of legs doesn't fit in a suitcase. Doesn't. So I basically have to check them in oversized luggage, which as they're a medical good, you actually don't have to pay for, like on top of any else if you checked in luggage, because you need them for a medical purpose, which is what prosthetic legs are for. But yeah, that's always a little bit like awkward that everyone's like walking around an airport with like their suitcases. We're walking around carrying my legs, but it's fine. I mean, we do have like leg bags and stuff, so like it doesn't look as dodgy, like we're literally like carrying someone's legs, but it's still something like that we, even before I would like take an extra pair of legs on holiday, we're a bit like, what happens here? So the next thing is skipping queues. I've spoken about being able to skip queues before, but however, in an airport, it's quick. So in airports, a lot of the time, if you have a disability, or even if you've like broken your leg, you're on crutches, you get to go through the fast pass line, which is bloody brilliant, because me and my whole family or anyone that's travelling with me will get to go down this fast pass line. Depending on the airport, it either takes you to a security with a really small queue, or sometimes it takes you to a completely separate security, which is a little bit different. But yeah, it's brilliant that you don't have to queue, because one, it doesn't waste my time, and two, it means that I don't have to stand up for ages, so I get in dead quickly. Now, one of the first things I have to do when I get to the airport is go and check in with the assistance people, because basically what they do is they book the assistance for me onto the flight, which I will get into later. But basically I have the option of having someone help me around the airport if I wanted. So if I was travelling, I don't know, with a friend and we needed more help, then they'd travel around the airport with me, defo make me skip all the queues, and so that is optional. However, the option we normally go for as we're a family and we want to go, I don't know, to eat and all stuff like that, we want to be a bit more gently walking through the airport rather than running to the gate with 3 hours to go. We normally just pick the option to meet them at the gate, which is then where the next step comes in. So on a majority of good airlines, if you have a disability, you get early boarding. Now this is amazing because it means you can take your time walking up the aisles of the plane. Nobody else is in your way, you're not getting in anybody else's way, and so you just take your time. So I really appreciate when a flight has that, because people stare at me enough as is anyway, but if I'm like trying to walk down an aisle, it's just pressure. And I've been on planes before where they haven't done first boarding, they've done disabilities people as last boarding, and I got on the front door of the plane. That's what they put me on, and I was at the back of the plane, and this was like a plane going to America, so big plane. Everyone was sat down waiting to take off, and I had to walk down the entirety of the plane. And no matter, like, regardless of like a disability or whatever, that is embarrassing to have to walk down the entire plane, everyone looking at you, they're waiting to go, and like it's like you've held them back. But it wasn't my fault, because I'd been waiting there since before everyone else, because I get told the gate and everything early, so I'm there early so they can do early boarding. But it was the airline and how the airport did then it meant that I didn't get early boarding and I had to be humiliated. So I can't really remember who that was, but thank you very much. Really appreciate that. So you're going through security. you walk through the metal detector. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but when your legs are made of metal, you beep in the metal detector every time. Whether I walk through or whatever, I beep. And I tell them I beep, I'm like, look, I'm gonna beep. And then they're like, oh, you beeped, and I'm like, yeah. So, depending where I am, it depends how vigorous my body searches are. In some places, they look at me and they're like, yeah, you're fine. Other places, they do swabs of my legs, and if I'm in my wheelchair, of my wheelchair, and then it's fine. If I'm in America, trying to leave America, let's just say, not a pleasant experience. Yeah, in America, the body searches are very vigorous and intrusive. Let's just say that. So yeah, that's fun. Next one is about getting onto the plane. I know I've kind of skipped over that, but let's like rewind. So this is like dependent on the plane and the airport. So my local airport is quite small and so it doesn't have any air bridges, which means I need, I think it's called an ambi-lift. Basically, it's like a van that vans around. It's a van that drives around, and then it drives up to like the door of the airplane, and then it kind of goes up, and then you're at level with the airplane, so you just have to then walk across like a bridge. But this takes forever because most airports don't really have very many, and especially if it's an airport which doesn't even have bridges, it's a nightmare and I hate it. But if you go to a bigger airport like Heathrow, Birmingham, Manchester, then they all will have bridges for most flights that are going like more than to like in the UK or like Ireland. Yeah, so a bridge is basically fine because it's just walking along flat. Okay, so like having a pushchair, I would normally take my wheelchair to the airport because airports are so big and you have to do so much walking, and quite often when I'm going on holiday I want to reserve my walking for on my holiday so that my legs aren't tired by the time I get there, if you get me. So I will probably be in my wheelchair around the airport. I would normally leave my wheelchair at like the entrance to the airplane, which then gets rushed down and put underneath, and then normally, if the service is efficient, when I go to get off the plane, my exact wheelchair is waiting outside the plane. So normally I have to wait to be the last person off the plane, so that make sure they've had time to like get my wheelchair out from underneath and put it there waiting for me. Sometimes this doesn't work and it gets on like the bag drop rotated thingy, but I mean it doesn't really matter. And again, when I get to my destination, I have someone helping me around, so if my bags or whatever, I mean I've literally just turned 16, so I've not gone on a plane by myself yet, so normally this is like not really needed because there's 5 of us in our family and we normally travel as a 5. So yeah, I still wish my disability would get me an upgrade when I'm flying over the Atlantic, you know. Oh, let's put her in first class. It doesn't, so yeah, it doesn't benefit me that much, but I did think this video would be quite interesting because I don't really know, I would just never consider anything that happens, but I thought it's quite interesting that airports and stuff are quite accommodating to people with disabilities when they want to go on the holidays. So yeah, you may want to keep your eye out on my Instagram in the next few weeks because I have 2 trips planned, like I said at the start of the video. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in my next video.